Dirty. And we are live. Hello and welcome to Fair Rugby on SuperSport. Apologies for the delay. Had a couple of technical issues at the back here, trying to get a few things sorted. But we should be hopefully sorted now for the rest of the game. So yeah, 5 minutes in, and the Lions have currently got a defeat. Well, the Sharks got an attacking now just outside 22. Vernon Cock being wrapped up. I'm going to need the Lions to defend this quite well because the last thing I need to do is start a stream and then for us to concede. So yes, just trying to sort out everything here. Which I don't quite know why that's happening. Yep. Let me sort my life out. What is going on over there? We need to sort it out. 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 Why is that not working? Okay, I'll sort that out at half time. Shall I? Anyway, how are we doing? Right, we have a scrum here. 6 minutes, 20 minutes into the game. Who's in the comments? Yeah, so Ken, the game starts at 5. Yeah, it does. So we're a couple minutes in now. Let's see what the weaker SAFA teams have to offer. Harsh. Especially seeing as the Western Province went down to the Greek quiz yesterday. So maybe, those fans probably not as high and mighty as they often are. But, look, a Lions Currie Cup side which has not started particularly well. The one place they are quite strong is the scrum. It's another positive scrum from them. And goes back to Currie Horn. Looking for a decent... That's a very nice touch final from Currie Horn. From inside the 22, just outside the 10-metre line there in the Sharks' half. Very nice player is Currie Horn. But, so a Lions team that hasn't been good in the Currie Cup, and they have added a bit of extra reinforcements. Very much went with a split squad in the first couple of games. But today, we see Vince Tuka into the side, we see Manuel Tuka into the side. Off the bench, Fred Zadinger, Ginter Smuts. So it is a much stronger Lions side than what they have fielded in the first couple of games. Matt Moore getting an opportunity in the Currie Cup side. Interested to see what he can do. It's still a very young Lions side, very much a young Lions side compared to the Sharks side. I don't think, I think Fred Zadinger probably being, maybe Ginter Smuts being the only two players who are on the other side of, I think, 25, really. The two Tuka brothers back into the side, but even them, very young players. Peter Stenkamp, I suppose, I think he was about 25, 26. For the Sharks, though, a couple of opportunities. Crazy Monofez and Barter getting an opportunity to press here. You've got the likes of Reno Hugo, LaRue Roots in the second row. As they break it down, Fez Barter breaks down the side. Eventually makes the tackle to Joe Classics. Now Pilo carrying it up. Cameron Wright trying to... Oh, and he just brought it straight forward. Has Malcolm right there. That's a horrible knock on there. And the Lions getting away with that one. Morgan Isaacs back in the pocket. Advantage over. Bounces awkwardly. Go ball. Hands away. Hey, we're going to score. The Lions are going to score. This could be the first time the Lions have been ahead in the entire Currie Cup. So that's a nice start. That's a pretty nice start. And that's surprising almost because we don't often have that. But we'll take it. Sound is echoing. We had that issue the other day, and I'm not quite sure where it came from. So let me try and sort that out. Right, there we go. Hopefully that should be a bit better. Let me know if it's not. Right, let me know if that's all sorted out. I'm hoping that should be fine with the audio-wise for a bit. If not, I don't quite know how to... if it hasn't sorted out, then I don't quite know what to do because unfortunately there shouldn't be any other issues whatsoever. So hopefully that should be sorting it. Anyway, the Lions have scored. Walden Hansen gone over 7-0, so we can move that. The Lions in the lead. A very fortuitous bounce of the ball. The clearance from Isaacs not finding touch. Yao allowed it to bounce, and the Lions not being able to take off the kickoff, which is very frustrating. All of a sudden, James Fenter, Sharks in the attack here. So frustrating when you can't take the bloody kickoff. I mean, it's such a basic thing to have to do, and if you can't do that, then yeah. I mean, look at Jamie Ward going towards. I mean, that is such shit defending. That is such shit defending. I mean, that's pathetic. I literally just waltzed over and they haven't even touched it. So, I mean, that's really is pretty ludicrous, to be honest. I mean, Golden Hansen slips the tackle. I mean, talk about going from 0 to 0. Just run the hand, slips the tackle, and he strolls over. I mean, you have to make that tackle. Well, sounds fine for me. So, yeah, if you're having issues, and anybody else having issues, maybe saying sound is good for me. Yeah, I'm about to say I've just checked it now and it seems to be fine on my side. So maybe it could be a speaker or something like that, but it seems to be working. And that could be the most shambolic piece of defending we've seen in this bloody tournament. After such a good start as well, and then you go and do that. I mean, that is pretty pathetic, to be honest. Frustrating. But what can you do, hey? Scores are level, so you get gifted an opportunity to score first points, and then you just throw it away with some very ordinary defending. Monde Portuguese didn't really have to work very hard for that try, did he? Right, the restart here from Isaacs. To Timberlani Boli. Cameron Wright now shaping up for the box kick here. That's a very good touch final from Cameron Wright. They've put the lines right back to their own 10-meter line, so that's the perfect clearance there from Cameron Wright. And there we go. That's what I'm saying. As the commentators make the point, it's the difference is there. The Lions have scored and not been able to take the kickoff, and as the Sharks have scored and been able to take the kickoff and put the Lions back in their own half. So, bit difference there. A horrible pass there from Morgan Isaacs behind Asnet and Klabakanye. Not a good moment from the Lions fly half behind his captain Asnet Klabakanye. He's had a bit of a haircut. And you can see the pass there just completely behind him, and it was high as well. Not a good moment there from Morgan Isaacs. He's a very frustrating player to watch, is Morgan Isaacs, because he's got everything. Like, you look at his skill set when you watch him at 20 levels, he's got everything he needs. He's got a decent distribution name. He's got a very nice boot on him. He can tackle, but at the moment, during the Currie Cup, he just hasn't been able to put it on display. So this needs to sharpen up a little bit. Right, now scrum time here. One of the few things that this team has been able to do quite well. I mean, Asanat and Klabakanya is an absolute unit, so he anchors very well. And then you've got JP Smith in, who's obviously much more experienced. Then the likes of Benita Impton John playing for a very long time. Damien Fenter in the middle there. You've got Denisio back for the Sharks, who adds quite a lot of weight to him. Bum, 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 bum. I think the biggest thing for this Lions side is that it needs to be all about growth, this whole Currie Cup. It needs to be about them taking the next step and becoming good enough to play at this level. Not always going to get the results, whereas I think the Sharks are a team who are looking at actually winning this competition. The Lions don't have that depth. But what we do need to see is we need to see progression as a bit of a way at... Oh, it's turnover ball there. Devon Rousseau, the number 11. He's chasing himself. Go, Devon Rousseau! He's got in the head. Just needs to bounce up. Just to come down for him. I think... Oh, you're going to have to check. This has all happened behind. Kicked in as a goal line dropout. Almost had the ball just didn't want to bounce up here. Keeps kicking ahead. He keeps waiting for it to pop up. He's got the pace, And then the ball just gets right underneath, and then it's ooh. Yeah, and then eventually manages to get the grounding down. Does Murray Costa. So Spport to the man manages to get the ball down. It'll be a goal line dropout from the Sharks. Going deep. Now here comes Vincent Tuka into the side to get a bit of game time after his injury. Pick up and go from your Claessens. Needs a couple of opportunities. Gets his ball, his hands to the tackle, but then the ball goes loose. Timberlani body bounces on it. No, not on advantage. Give him backwards, I think, over a Sharks player. So Sharks turn over ball. James Fenter going to Jeremy Ward. Jamal Spport comes inside. James Fenter. Good tackle here by Vincent Tuka. And he gets over the ball. Ball, is that not forward? Turnover from the Lions. Now they're trying to hold him up here. Really, really important tackle there, man, by Vincent Tuka. Needs to have a big game this today if the Lions are going to do well. Keep kicking chase. And it's well read by Manuel Tuka. And he's managed to turn it over as well, so... Thank you. And Isaacs will be able to boot clear. It's rolling, He's going to roll into touch. Yao Penkler is tracking hard. It doesn't find touch. So ball to Hansen with the chase up there. Matt Moore slipping the tackle. Yao Penkler. Somebody went to make the tackle. Thank you. Eventually runs into a couple of front rows who do the dirty yards. Bloody backline players. I mean, come on. Now Cameron Wright going down the blind side. Jeremy Ward. To Porquito, the try scorer. And it's a penalty for not rolling away against Isaacs. Had some IT. No stress. As long as it's all working your guys' side, then we're all good here. Yeah, shame penalty there. It's been quite a disjointed game at the moment. Not much structure to it. It was a really good cover tackle there earlier by Vincent Tuka. I thought that if they managed to get a ball going, then it could have a bit of trouble for the Lions. And speaking of the man, I think it's Emmanuel Tuka, his brother, getting some treatment on the ground. But I think Vincent Tuka is going to beef up this side a lot because having that experience, he's obviously a very physical player, brings a lot to the table. Right, so far possession stats, 61% in favour of the Sharks, 39% in favour of the Lions. It'll be a Sharks line out inside the Lions 22. They haven't been particularly accurate so far. They had a couple of opportunities here, the Sharks. They had most of their opportunities, if you're going to be honest. Haven't been able to make as many count as they would like. Luru's taking it, and it's a big kind of shove, so the ball comes loose there. And it's a knock on as well. That's a big... you see, that's what I'm saying. The set piece hasn't really worked for the Sharks so far. The Lions have actually done very well to disrupt it again. Fairs and Barter. You know what, mate? Just come to the Lions. You're sitting there, third choice at the Sharks. You've got Bongi Manambi ahead of you. You've got Karen Van Vuuren ahead of you. Whereas you could just come and play for the Lions, and you could start every single week because apart from the couple of days, generally your set pieces. Well, anybody's set piece is better than PJ Buerta. So back yourself, mate. Come here, come over here, and join the crew. So Lions scrum inside their own 22. Carson's feeds, and Matt Moore's gonna be the ball carrier here. St Andrew's boy on loan from the Pumas. Back to Isaacs in the pocket. Needs to find a decent touch finder. And that should get up to about the halfway line. So that's not a bad moment. That's a better moment from the fly half. Alright, so line out. Well, Sharks line out, as I mean. The Pheasant Bart had an opportunity to make amends from his early mistake. Just on the inside of the Sharks half, basically on the halfway line. Not sure what the stoppage is here for. I think we've got an injury here. I'm not sure if it's the Lions injury or Sharks injury. But time is currently off. So yeah, 7 points apiece after 20 minutes. Mostly been one-way traffic apart from the counter-attack try there from the Lions. Also had another one through Devon Rousseau. Now managed to eventually entering the frame. There's Mbata this time going to the back of the line. Good take from Gametti. Now Buddha Chamberlain going to the boot, lifting that high. Vernicock is chasing. It's a tester here for Q and Horn. He takes it. That makes a few meters as well. So the Lions with possession back just outside the 22. Carry there from Damon Fenter. Now Claasen's back to Vaughan Isaacs. Vaughan Isaacs spotting a bit of space down the left-hand side. And that's directly into touch. That's a really poor kick. I mean, come on, mate. Goodness me. Literally, should be kicking yourself out of a bit of trouble there. He's kicked straight into touch and give to the Sharks a line on the 22 meters. So, talk about putting your team under pressure. Really, really unnecessary. Yeah, you apologize to everybody, mate. Trying to get the rolling more here from the other Sharks. It's eventually starting to get a bit of momentum. You get a couple of the heavies back inside, but Cameron Wright's going to use it. Going flat to I think it's Murray Costa. Now James Fenter, former junior Lions captain. Cameron Wright to Kutam Kuno. So tackle by Vince Tuka. Damien Fenter's there to try and get his hands on the ball. And wins the penalty. Well played. Well played. It's PJ Steenkamp, the man who stole that ball. Very important turnover as well. So as I said, the Lions are still holding in there. They haven't had any ball where they managed to defend quite well. Doesn't seem to be much of a plan really on the attack from the Sharks early on. Maybe guilty of being a little bit one-dimensional. Isaac's finding touch just by the halfway line. It'll be a Lions line out, an opportunity to try and get into Sharks territory. Right, now the union issue is the fact that they can't buy a line at the moment. It's been such an issue for quite a while now. It's very frustrating. And let's hopefully we see if we can sort this out. Fenter going, it's a bit messy. It lands the side of the line. No, it's what I'm saying. I don't understand. It's literally an entire union issue. They just can't win a line out. It's pathetic. Cameron Wright puts the kick over the top. It's a very lucky bounce because it was quite a deep kick, but it does bounce into touch. And now the Lions will have a pressure line. I mean, how can you exist as a rugby team if you can't win a flippin' line out? It's ridiculous. I don't understand how a union can have such an issue. The URC, the Currie Cup side, there is just no composure when it comes to lineouts. It's pathetic. $50-22, great. So now it's Sharks ball as well. I mean, really? Although I'm pretty it looked like the ball bounced in the Lions half. I'm a bit confused about that. I'd like to see that again, actually. So now opportunity for the Sharks to just attack right on the 5-meter line, basically. They go to the front, go to Reno Hugo. They go to shift the point of attack, a bit of variation of Werner Koch. Right to Devan Deso and Isaacs. Right to Timalani Boli. Vincent Tuka driving him back along with Lemon Fenter. Good physicality shown there. Now Crazy Mona, brought down by James Malense. Angweni over the ball, but missing it. Cameron Wright going out wide to Jamie Ward. Solid defense so far. Almost a bit of a Nagamedi on a bit of a run. Has left the ball behind, I think. Knock on advantage, turnover ball from the Lions. That's what I'm saying. That the Sharks' accuracy has not been particularly good, and the Lions are getting away with a few things here. Class is now testing out in Klabakanya. Bit of a chop tackle there by James Fenter. We'll go back for the knock on and scrum. The Sharks, with all the possession at the moment, all the opportunity to attack, and yet not being able to really capitalize. And the Lions kind of just disrupting things and kind of clinging in there, which I'm not sure how much longer they can do. We can't do this all day here, chaps. He saw the spot there, it's the gap there to Gimedi, but just left the ball behind. Time off. What's going on here, chaps? This has been like the longest half of rugby ever. Is this Denisio? He's literally just come back, was it Baldwin Hansen? Baldwin Hansen going off. Which means we're going to see Tyler Box coming on. Well, bit of an up and down game for Baldwin Hansen. He took a very opportunistic try. And this is interesting. They're going to put Fred Zailing on. So this is going to be interesting. What are we going to see here? We could be seeing Fred Zailing going in at full back. And seeing Q and Horn go onto the wing. Or else we're going to see Fred Zailing come into fly half. Well, Fred Zailing has run straight into the fly half position. Vaughan Isaacs looks like he's gone to full back. And as I said, looks like Q and Horn's gone to the wing. Not part of the plan here for the Lions. Not looking to hook it, and it's been countered. I mean, really, guys? Down the Brian side there, Cameron Wright. It's over. It's so pathetic. It's so. I mean, why do we bother to pitch up? That has got to be the easiest try they'll score all day. The ball goes in. They don't even bother trying to hook it. And then Cameron Wright just strolls down the blind side, and it's a 2-on-1 situation, so he keeps the ball and kind of goes over. I mean, he basically wasn't even touched. Winch took it quite late to react there, and Q and Horn has to stay out as that man, and Cameron Wright dives over. I mean, really, it is so easy. It is so easy. I don't understand why he didn't hook that. Ball's in there. We decide not to hook. JP Smith's gone straight up. He's absolutely nowhere in that scrum. So Pheasant Barter sticks his leg on and says, thank you very much. We'll take that. Cameron Wright goes on the blind side and it's over and easy. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's so tough being a blooming Lions fan. Where's Jaden Henderson? He's part of the URC setup, so yeah, he's starting in the URC for the Sharks. So yeah, I said this very much different to the Shark side. Very good Shark side. Decent from the restart there. Fez and Barter controlling and rolling more at the back. Still making quite a few meters here, are the Sharks. And they're broken away. He's eventually brought down, but they've gotten themselves past the 10 meter line. Now Cameron Raj is bringing it back, going to the boot himself, lifting that high. It'll be a tester here for Isaacs, who gets it very wrong, and the ball comes loose. Venter gives it away. Well, it's a horrible pass to Fred Zallinger. Fred Zallinger under a lot of pressure. Pick up and go. Gets the half pass, which gets wrapped up by Matt Moore. So plenty of pressure. Gives it to Vincent Tuka. He's got work to do. So much pressure here. We need somebody. The ref has gone straight over with the breakdown. Lions eventually managing to break down, but they are right deep inside the 22. Fred Zallinger from behind his goal line eventually finds touch outside the 22. I mean, the inaccuracy of the Lions here kind of stems from the kick. Really poor attempts to try and take the kick off. Ball goes free. A half pass there from Venter behind Fred Zallinger. Fred Zallinger being wrapped up. His offload to Matt Moore, then going behind. Matt Moore cleaning up. So it's just weathering a storm at the moment for the Lions. They can't do anything inside the Sharks' territory. So it's all about, at the moment, it's all about what they can just try and contain and just not concede. Cameron Wright going to Reniel Hugo. Oh, Costa almost through there, popping the ball up to Reniel Hugo. He goes back towards the left-hand side. Water Chamberlain bouncing to Jeremy Ward. This game has been very sloppy. Doesn't read like an international. I mean, like a professional game. Just not much accuracy. Quite a couple of things going wrong. Reniel Hugo now taking it up. Going back to Gumedi. Big tackle on PJ Steenkamp. They've got an advantage here to the Sharks. Cameron Wright thinking about going himself. Right, so having a few issues here, so I'll show a turn in 2 seconds. Time is still off after that. I almost thought about going here, by the way. The Sharks taking the 3 points. So Buddha Chain will be able to line us up and pretty much bang in front. But almost actually thought about going today. Still haven't been to a game since they've opened up the stadiums, mostly because we've been sitting here doing this. So as soon as more presenters open up and I can get somebody to cover me in here, then hopefully I can get to the stadium and we can do some live crossings, for example. To go to the stadium, see what it's like in there. Get my clock going again. Pretty easy there from Buddha Chamberlain. And I'll take that lead up to 17 points to 7. It was 14 points. Apologies, I know my scoreboard was wrong. TP start, another good take there from Timberline Borley. Runs to Damon Fenton, makes a nice hit. But he's still going as Borley. They do get that lose safe to 22 though. Buddha Chamberlain going very high in the area. Testy of Fred Zelinger. Werner Cock after it as well. Fred Zelinger takes it well. Gives it off to Devon Rousseau. Devon Rousseau going himself. Had a nice carry earlier. Now lines on the halfway line. Claessens goes to Fred Zelinger. Fred Zelinger spots a bit of space out there. Now, won't be up to 22, I don't think, because I think we were just inside the Sharks' territory. It's a very nice kick in behind the 22. No, I think it is for 22, you know. It was right up on the halfway line. I don't think we did get into the... No, it shouldn't be for 22. That shouldn't have been the 50-22, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it looked like he was inside the... horrible line out there from the Sharks. The Lions win it back, and that kind of sums it up, doesn't it? You finally get a line out, couple meters thing, and you lose it again. I mean, it's childish. It's childish. And Peter Gomez, the man who's winning that line for the Sharks. Dear. I mean, yeah, finally an opportunity. Really good for the 22, which I'm not convinced it was. Should have been for the 22. Convinced that you get an opportunity, and boom. We're in on the Lions, be competitive again. 2 year or 3 years' time. Yeah, it's they've got talent to the Union, but until you start seeing bigger signings, you know, I don't see how we can become competitive. You know, as PJ Steenkamp, sorry, Damon Fenter. No, there's PJ Steenkamp, and he's been held up there, so this will probably be a turnover ball. Yep. So it'll be a scrum to the Sharks. I think, you know, until we start seeing bigger signings to the Union, I don't see how we can become much more competitive, to be honest. And, you know, personally, you know, obviously a lot of the coaching staff, people sort of saying, we need to get a new coach staff in, and I kind of sort of, I can go with that to a certain degree, but I also think you got to give the coaching staff more to work with. Because, you know, the Sharks are signing players like Evan Etzebeth. You know, they've got, I think it's like 9 World Cup winners or something stupid. The Lions don't have one. So... And now PJ Steenkamp looks like he's injured. And this is also the issue of the Lions at the moment. There's so many injuries to so many crucial players. So it's Damon Fenter who's down. Now he's on his shoulder. Oh my goodness. So Mornay Brandon's going to get an extended run out here. We haven't actually seen much of Mornay Brandon. But yeah, so it's the problem is it's just such a young. It's either very young Union. I mean, the players are either very young, or unfortunately they're nearing the end of their careers. There's very few players, you know, the stars of the line sitting in their sort of, you know, late 20s where you could have come into your prime. There's no depth at the Union whatsoever. So it's all everything's stacked up against them. I personally think unless we start getting unless somebody comes and buys the Union like we've seen at the Sharks, I don't see how they do come back. Because at the moment, all they're doing is producing some fantastic youngsters who then get snapped up by overseas clubs. And then what are you supposed to do? You know, you rebuild and then you lose all your players, and you rebuild and you lose all your players. So Becoming a bit of a perpetual cycle at the moment. Anyway, Sharks grab inside the 22. Pretty even contest. Not much movement there from either side. Now because a huge shot from the Sharks, and they'll get a penalty if Mark Anders breaks off. Rise tackle of Claessens, eventually brought down by Fred Zadiger. Penalty advantage for the Sharks. No, he's burst through here, has Manus Porkita. Claessens missed the tackle as well. 2-on-1 situation here, gives it to Cameron Wright. Kieran Hall makes a very good tackle. And a very good turnover there by Sangweni and Vaughan Isaacs. Well, that had to happen. What a break there, literally from 22. And Sangweni did really well to get back there and support, make the tackle, and him and Isaacs were over very quickly. That's a very nice contribution there from the Lions flank. That's a very nice penalty as well. Up to just about halfway between the 10 and the 22. Come, it's 17 points to 7. You got to try and get either penalty, get 3 points. Try and get us try. Let's try and get back into the game here, lads. Right, shall we go, Monde? Brandon, can you throw a ball into the line out? You know, if you can do a ball into the line out, I reckon you're part of a very unique. Short-term penalty. Well, we'll take that. Free kick. Nassim Tladekani decides to take himself. Glass is now going to Fred Zadiger. Fred Zadiger going to Emmanuel Chuka. Nice little step from him. Almost through, looking for the offload to Claessens. He's lost it. For fuck's sakes, guys. Just hang on to the ball for like 3 phases. 3 phases. All you need. Just for once. I mean, really. No advantage, go back for the knock-on. I mean, come on. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, just just take the ball to ground. Just take the contact, Emmanuel. It's a really good break for you. You've made meters. Go down. Recycle. Phase play, people. Phase play. There's been no phase play from the Lions. I think 4 phases might probably be the absolute most we've had the entire game. Go down, recycle. Composure, people, composure. Another blooming stoppage now. Who's down now? Exciting. We're getting Eben. Yeah. No, it's been actually a pretty poor game of rugby, to be perfectly honest. I heard that the Greek quiz versus Western Province wasn't particularly good last night either. Yeah, it hasn't been. It hasn't. I wouldn't say it's been a great effort for South African rugby. It's been quite messy, both sides. Sharks dominated all the possession, but they've made stupid mistakes. The Lions have only made stupid mistakes. I don't think there's much good from them today, actually. So Sharks ground just outside 22, almost in the midway of the pitch. Free kick there for pushing him before the ball's in. So I think the only thing you can compliment the Lions on is they've managed to hang on quite well. You know, a couple of good scramble defense moments. Buddha Chamberlain launching that in the air. Who wants that, chaps? Nobody's going for it. Sangweni eventually forces the knock-on advantage, falls back to the Sharks. Cameron Wright puts the kick in, lands to JP Smith. Oh, JP Smith was on the break there. Referee, how could you do that to the man? He was through and he was ready. He might never get an opportunity like that again. Knock on there. But I mean, that's it. The basics have been atrocious. The ball there, go straight up in the air. You had so much time to decide who was taking it, and it just bounces. How does it just bounce? Why is nobody taking responsibility and saying, yeah, I'm taking that? So into the last 30 seconds of the half, 10 points is the difference. That's a better scrum there from the Lions. Big counter shove there from the Sharks, actually, having said that. So we'll have a reset here. It was a good hit there from the Lions. Then the scrum went up, and then the Sharks started coming up. So last patch to play here. They tend to be between times going through the motion games. The thing that sucks is seeing how strategy you get with your team. I don't know how then I'm a Shark, so yeah. We're waiting. I've told you I need to go find a sheikh in like Dubai to come and to buy the Lions, and then we can operate. You know, but if he's actually gonna put it in though, it really frustrates me a penalty like that. You know, you've got Cameron Wright who's refusing to put the ball in. He had several opportunities to do it, and then it's a penalty for the going down to the knee. But I mean, the scrum hasn't even started. He hasn't even put the ball in. So it's right on the it's about. This will be a 55-meter kick. Buddha Chamber's gonna have a go here. Probably close to 57, 58 on the angle. I don't understand why. I mean, in the meantime, Storm was a top 10 team with mostly ingrained talent. Yeah, look, Stormers fans are a funny bunch, actually, because they were all calling for John Dobson to be out at the end of last year. And all of a sudden, he's like the saving grace at the moment. So things ebb and flow. I don't understand why Lions sign a core player like Willem Alberts and Adrian Bassi, because that's the kind of caliber of player we can attract, unfortunately. With the exception of Edward van der Merwe, when was the last time the Lions made a high-profile signing? Somebody at the top of their game. And Buddha Chamberlain just manages to get that out. So it'll go into half-time with a 13-point lead. 7 points 20 is the score. Frustrating half where the Lions couldn't do much right, to be honest. Scramble defense has kept them into the game to a certain degree, but they need to do a lot more in the second half. And the Sharks 2 tries to 1 with the lead. And we'll return in about 10 minutes for the second half. So don't go away. Please just smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. And I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right. Why is this happening? I don't understand this. Should not be happening like that. It's really frustrating me, actually. No, I suppose it's just one of those days. Nothing really working. Lines aren't working. The stream's barely working. Just life's just not going well. Not going well. Anyway, halftime score 7 points 20 in favor of the Sharks. The Lions need to get their A into G and start playing some rugby, because at the moment what we've seen has been very, very poor and frustrating, because I mean they've done well enough to be able to sort of keep the scoreline down, but you need to start doing things. You need to start helping yourself here. You need to start being able to be more accurate. You'll start winning lineouts when you're inside the 22. You have to start taking opportunities. I think if you did start taking opportunities, I think it would be a whole different ball game. But we just haven't. So that's where the frustration has come. But there's still another half to go. So, anything can happen. But yeah, so what are we saying at half time? Cheese being kicked out of international competition is unfair. Yeah, it's frustrating for them, but I mean, at the end of the day, that last Currie Cup before the URC started, the Lions did beat the Cheetahs twice and finished higher than in the log. So yeah, it was always gonna be a difficult situation because they had to back 4 unions, and which unions do you back? Because at the end of the day, if you were now, it's easy to say the Lions don't deserve, but for the past 3 years, the Lions have been the best SA side. So, yeah, it was always a difficult decision for that one. Yeah, literally, why isn't Francois Pienaar buying the Lions? I mean, he literally he literally captained Transvaal. Now come back and flipping buy the Union, give us all the players, let us thrive. Q was saying, Scarlet, that's 2 years now, makes some sense. Just a phase. West Province was once the Kings of the Hill, even beating the All Blacks, and then plummeted to absolute garbage. Savage have changed a bit though, not many Saffers anymore. Hard for me to know which of these teams. I think we were talking about which of the sides are which. Yeah, so there's only so much you can sort of harp on about the Lions. It's the same issues at the end of the day. It's and it's not fair on the players either. You are ruining good careers by having such talented players being exposed to levels where they probably shouldn't be at, and not being able to take a step in a comfortable environment. I mean, it's very different, for example, for, let's say, a Murray Costa or a Monde Sportkita. Young players, but, getting an opportunity to play against more experienced players, in and around them. Players who have played at the level. You're looking at the Sharks, and you think Cameron Wright's been around for a long time. Yao Painklay's been around for a long time. Still quite young, but he's been playing at this level. Werner Cox's been playing at this level for a while. Jamie Ward's been playing at this level for a while. In the pack, the Roots, Reniel Hugo have been playing this level for a while. So you've got that experience in and around you. It's a much better environment to be making your debut. Whereas for the Lions players, you've got all these 21, 22-year-olds who are making their debut, with players in and around them who aren't settled yet. So you've got a whole bunch of players who are trying to sort of find their feet in an environment which doesn't really lend itself to being particularly comfortable. So yeah, it's not fair on the players. It doesn't bode well for the union at all that this is the sort of depth that we've got to offer, because you can't put together big squads at the moment. And it is frustrating. It is frustrating. But it is what it is. You got to make the best out of it. And hopefully you'll see a bit of a better display in the second half. A couple of early blows for the Lions as well. Baldwin Hansen was a casualty. It's just off. As well as Damon Fenter. So injuries are playing their part for the Lions. Got lots of locks out at the moment. But that's what we can see. Let's see what we can see in the second half. I just like to see a positive performance here. Let's try going. Let's try and let's put some attacks together, yeah. And Buddha Chamberlain, after an impressive penalty later in the second half, is going to get things back underway as he goes towards the left-hand side of the park. Sharks playing right to left, Lions left to right. An early touch for the Lions fly half, Morgan Isaacs, and it's not a particularly good one as the ball has skewed off the side of his boot and gone straight into touch. Looks like he's playing at fullback now, though. Dazn coming on for Walden Hansen. Kuhn Horn shifting to the wing. I got Louis Roots. JP Smith trying making a big hit there, but going off on the side there. Lions doing well to so far keep the Morphs from getting any momentum. Callers to use it. And so Granny jumps all over Fez and Barter. The ball pops up and goes a bit loose. Under a bit of pressure, gives it away to Pochito, who's wrapped up by Vincent Tuka. Managed to drag him back a few meters, so it's a bit of a butcher line for the Sharks, but they do have possession, just lost about 5-10 meters. Early on was Morne Brandon on the route. It's a nice tackle by him. Sharks going backwards at the moment, though, getting our advantage. And I put a Chamberlain as well. This is really good from the Lions, actually. They've driven them back about 15 meters from that line out with some decent defend. Now, Timolani Borley looking for some gain on advantage. Does get up to the 10-meter line. Jamie Ward trying to find a bit of space in between. Matt Moore, Owen competing for the ball. Cameron White going to the left-hand side here. Very flat pass there from Fez and Barter. Cameron, British Chamberlain, inside Jamie Ward. Very well read by Denisio. Does make a few meters though. Cameron White to British Chamberlain. Now going to Kutum Kunu. They're trying to hold him up. Eventually goes down to ground. Sharks working their way back towards the right. A bit more momentum here. It's a big hit, however, on Crazy Wonder from Esaneta and Clavicania. Cameron Wright now going to British Chamberlain. British Chamberlain going to running the hands, yeah. Goes to Pochito, takes it down to ground. Jamie Ward down the side. Straight into Isaacs. Knock on no advantage, penalty advantage for. Not sure what the penalty's for here. Offside is the call. I mean, discipline, yeah, chaps. Early stages, really nice defense, making some big hits, and now you're going to concede a very kickable 3 points, and they can put this, 16 points ahead. 16 points is a lot of work to do. They are going for the corner, though. They are the Sharks. Is that confidence? Is that arrogance? Penalty advantage there for swimming offside. It was much better defense there from the Lions, though. Driving the Sharks back, making some big hits, trying to sort of assert themselves, which was good to see. I haven't seen it the entire game, actually. Right, can the Sharks get an accurate line and get a platform here? So far, the Lions are defending the Rolling Moor quite well. There we go. Looks like a 6-man line out for the Sharks. Obvious candidates are Hugo and Roots. He goes to the front of the line to Daniel Hugo. Ball's coming right there, and Fez and Barter throws it back to Buddha Chamberlain. So the Sharks have to attack from deep. Jamie Ward from a standing start runs to Fred Zedinger. Eventually brings it down with assistance from Divan Rousseau. Cameron Wright now going to Murray Costa, trapped by Matt Moore. Cameron Wright now to Temilani Boli. Big tackle I made on him. No, Cameron Wright, it's your player that's holding onto the ball there, chap, so you can't complain about that. Sniping himself, Cameron Wright, inside ball to Pheasant Barter. Yuri Claessen's just trying to hold him up. He comes up just short. Cameron Wright now off to the side to Yao Penkler. Isaacs makes the tackle. Big counter ruck coming in now from PJ Steen, coming Kieran Horn. Pick up and go from James Fenter. Sanguini's got his arms all over him though. Driven him back as well. Desperate defense so far from the Lions, but pretty effective so far. Roots on JP Smith. Temilani Body now. PJ Steen come and how has he scored that, PJ Steenkamp? Why do you exist? Why are you defending? What is the point of you? How has he grounded that? That is such abject defending. I mean, he literally went, grabbed the ball, and basically fell over the line to try and hold him up, and he's scored the try. Yeah, I see. He just loses the ball, and then he goes over. I mean, it's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Yeah, it's going to be another cricket score at this rate. I think I'm just going to stop watching the thing, and old Strowley can give me a call when he actually wants to be serious as a union. Chamberlain from the left-hand side. That's not a particularly good kick. It's gone straight down the left, so it will not convert the try. 25 points to 7, it will remain. Right, restart. Kieran Horn chasing very hard. Timberlane body, the try score. Kieran Horn managed to get an ankle tap in. And it's a penalty. Well done, Emmanuel Chatuka. Oh, your class is taking it quickly. Gets it out to Kieran Horn right up against the side. Why do that? Why do that? Why do that? Unless he's not 10, that's a waste. Cynical. There we go. Yellow card. Well played, your classes. Never mind. We're all good there. No, it wasn't 10 there, so it's cynical play from Cameron Wright, and the Sharks lose their scrum off for 10 minutes. So if there was ever a time to try and get back into the game, well, this is it. Really good kick chase there from Kieran Horn, putting the ankle tap, and he fell right in front of Emmanuel Chatuka. The offload to Kieran Horn, he had no space to work with, and unfortunately not the biggest of players as Kieran Horn. Almost does very well to... In fact, he rides the first tackle from Corkita very well, and then he gets balance touched by Cameron Wright. But in doing so, Cameron Wright took out Jurgen Claessens in an offside position, so the Sharks are down to 14 men. So let's see. Lions of the line out. Can we try and hit back? They go to Denisio at the front of the line out. There comes a rolling more opportunity. We haven't seen too many from the Lions. So far, it's well defended by the Sharks. Ball comes to once. Fezan Bartes finds himself at the back. Need to get this ball out. Need to get this ball out. Penalty advantage. We'll have another advantage. Another penalty there. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. Old Fred Zenning, he didn't even bother kicking it. They basically said, "Can we have the?" They basically just pointed at the 5 meter, and we gave him the 5 meter line out. Right, come on, let's hit back here. They'll go to once again to Denisio front of the line out here. Nice little variation. They come short. Chatuka goes over the side, manages to stay in just. Claessens pops up to JP Smith, who's going to be driven back here. And they've actually turned in the tackle. It goes back to Asanated Klabikanya, who managed to grab it and get on his bicycle, almost coming up short there. Lions still with possession. Emmanuel Chatuka putting his head down. That's a very good leg drive and a very good reach, and the Lions are back. That's better. That's better. That's just desire. That's the kind of desire we haven't seen so far this match. So much to do there, Emmanuel Chatuka. He just put his head down, and you can just see that was all about the leg drive. Desperation. That's what we want to see. We want to see that drive. We want to see that hunger. He had no rights getting over there. See, it popped up from Emmanuel Hugo. The pop-up then comes off a Sharks player, lands in the hands of Asanat and Klabikanya, puts his head down, makes a few meters. Nice carry from him. And then it pops up from Jurgen Claessens to Emmanuel Chatuka. And he runs into Kwesi-Mona. And he just drives. And he says, no, I'm getting over here. And Buddha Chamberlain keeps going with the leg drive, frees up his right arm, reaches over, and puts it over. And a little bit of desire that we haven't seen the entire game. That's what we want to see. Organisers with this first conversion attempt. And good to score early after going down to 40 men as well. Because if you are to get anything out of this game, then we've got to score another one before old Cameron Wright gets back on. You've got to score another try. Yeah, no issue. How have you missed that? Vorgan Isis, just get off the fucking field. I mean, that is a very, very straightforward opportunity. I mean, it's about 10 meters to the right of the poles there. You had to get in that. You convert that try, you score another try and convert it, you're 4 points behind. I mean, really. You cannot be missing conversions like that as a fly half. Well, I think Fred Zalling will be taking over the kicking duties after that. But anyway, let's celebrate the small victories. We did score. Right, Buddha Chamberlain, the restart, going towards the left. Yo Class is smashed by Reno Hugo underneath it, but takes it well. Lots of pressure at the right time, but the Lions do manage to... Isaac with the box kick. Lions touched by the 10-meter line. That's a better exit play from the Lions. We haven't seen that in a while. No, it wasn't too many penalties in that area. It was a cynical penalty in the red zone. Right, rolling more here from the Sharks, the line off in the 10-meter. It's broken off, and penalty advantage here from the Lions, well, for the Sharks. Then I'll go to Reno Hugo. Reno Hugo puts the kick in behind for Yao Penkley to chase. Oh, we're not even going to check that, ref. He's awarded the try. Can we not even check that, though? I mean, it's a kick in behind from Reno Hugo. The bounce took everybody out. It's come off some player somewhere, and Gumedi is over. But they haven't even checked this. That is, I mean, that's so typical. It's so typical, isn't it? Finally get something back, and you immediately concede off within a minute of the kickoff. Dear. We still can't have nice things. That's the second time, by the way, where we scored and then conceded within like 2 minutes of scoring. And if Buddha Chamberlain gets this, then Cameron Wright's actually gone off, and they've actually scored 2 points on the Lions. So that would be pretty typical, wouldn't it? Yeah, and he does concede that because he's not a shit fly half. 32 points to 12. Gumedi is off, by the way. It did look like he had hurt his shoulder in grounding that. So I think the try's alright. I mean, it's just, they really talk about the bounce of the rugby ball. I mean, just want to see us with a bit of luck here. Right, Fred Zellinger with the restart. Timberlani Bordy underneath it. Big tackle on him from Sangweni. He's actually worked really hard today. Kieran Horn trying to jackal the ball. They put on a scrum off here, and the former Snail and Nahamba have the Sharks. You see, you got sacrifice for him. Nahamba back to put a Chamberlain in the pocket. Right, so Buddha Chamberlain's gone down after that kick. Doesn't look particularly happy. We've still got quite a few minutes left with the yellow card. But the Sharks have actually gone up by 2 points since it. Yeah, so Nahamba has replaced Gumedi. given the yellow card. So they'll probably bring on a forward then, obviously, when the yellow card is up. Flat ball there for... Then you go to James Malence. He's put on an inside step. That's a very good offload to Vincent Atuka. Go, Vincent! Oh, man. Oh, he scored! That's worked out brilliantly. Dazn Rousseau is over. What a try. For the first time this match, we saw a bit of ingenuity there. Bit of a move out there. James Malence with a fantastic step to take out Werner Koch. Chicken wing pass out to Vincent Atuka. Great run. Didn't have the pace. I thought he made the wrong decision by throwing the ball in the inside. And it comes off Yao Penkler and runs backwards. And Dazn Rousseau was aware, picks it up under the pressure of Yao Penkler. And gets over as well. Well played. Well played. Hey, we're back in this, boys. Well, his game's come alive all of a sudden. Imagine if the Lions win, how happy Steve will be. Yeah, look, when pigs fly, hey. Steve's such a proud Lions sport. You know what? It's just, I spent far too many years growing up in the bloody Ellis Park to watch this nonsense. You get the South African rum out of Lions, but come back and win it. No rum for me today. I had far too much rum last night. That's why we are strictly on the H2O. Maybe we'll crack a beer afterwards at the Bri. Dear. That is just playing the numbers. Carries some Sharks supporter, but it's tough to see you in the States, Steve. We'll just wait for the Springboks, then we'll be fine. The Lions will playing Leinster next weekend. That's going to be a flippin' fun one to watch. Morgan Isaacs right up against the touchline. I mean, how do you nail that one and you haven't nailed the other? That's a brilliant conversion. Right up against the touchline. Malence there. That's very good. That's so good. Vince Tuka. He's never going to have the pace up against Sport Keita, but takes him out wide. Yao Penkler can't gather the loose pass, and Dazn Rousseau jumps on the moment. He says, Lion beer, nice stuff, but tons of Pinafore Double Dragon is better. Can't say I've ever had any beer from overseas, really. I mean, apart from like Guinness, which we get down here. But Lions beer is decent down here. It's nice and cheap, and it's for its price. Kieran Horn with the stepping there, getting away from two Sharks players. That's a bit of that's a big counter ruck. And Dazn Rousseau, oh my goodness, Morne Brandon has knocked that like backwards 14 times. Eventually managed to regather it. Jared Claessen's going back to Fred Zelling in the pocket. Fred Zelling, I don't think he's going to find touch there. So Yao Penkler, he's been quite quiet so far. Haven't had too much opportunity. Everybody in front. That is the Lions in a nutshell, isn't it? That is the Lions in a nutshell. You've just scored a try, you've converted it, and off the kickoff, you conceded a penalty right in front of the poles for being in front of the kicker. And they can once again go and kick 3 points and just remove the advantage you've just gained. And it's in a number, by the way, of all people's going to take the penalty. Ah, dear. Can't have nice things. And Nahamba slotted that from right in front. So it actually wasn't, I don't know why it wasn't up to 32 points. It's up to 33, so it's 33 points now. 90 points to 33. Confused to why they didn't add the extra. But anyway, David's on the bench for the Sharks. So not quite sure if you're going to see him quite soon. Right, 19 points to 33 is how it stands. Fred Zellinger in the restart. Still down to the 14 men yard Sharks. Sanguini's been really good at the kickoff. He's worked very hard at getting good positions now. Outside the 22 of the Sharks, the Conquer straight into touch. Number hit. That's a very nice tackle by Asante and Klabakanya. Got up quickly to make the hit. JB Smith also dumping Fez and Barter just to say, listen, you kid. Right, Nahamba going with the box kick. But he said outside. He said it was not outside. was taken back. The ref literally said it's outside. Rasta, come on, man. How can the referee say it's outside when the ruck was formed, and now they're kicking a touch and they've given it? That's frustrating. That's a good looking maul though. Turnover ball. That pisses me off. I don't understand. Am I the only one here who he literally says outside? If you're watching, confirm. Did he not say outside? I was confused with that. I mean, this is the more you got to use it, as soon as it starts breaking apart, Morning Brandon, you've got to have the awareness to understand. Shit, it's breaking apart. That's not Ginter Smuts, is it? Ginter Smuts was put down as the scrum half replacement, but that's not Ginter Smuts. That looks like Nico Steyn. I think the yellow card. Oh, my clock's not on. Why is my clock not on? Right, MJ Pulse is on for Manu Tuka. So we'll see Sangweni shift to 8th man. OJ Noah, Samoan. He's going to come on and add a lot of bulk. No yellow card anymore either, so we can take that off. That's definitely Nico Steyn, by the way, on the park, not Ginter Smuts. I wonder how long the commentators will take to work that one out. Right, scrum here for the Sharks. Just outside 22 on the far left-hand side of the park. If Lions could find a big scrum here, that would help. Nahamba going straight to Murray Costa. To Inu Adebe. Ball out to Werner Koch. Werner Koch stepping around. He's been tracked down. Borchita is eventually brought down by... Who is that? Temalani Borley now. Sharks are all the way into this Lions half. Morgan Isaac trying to compete at the ball. Yes, and then Nahamba quick ball. Couple of Sharks replacements on here. Inu Adebe. Jeremy Ward. Penalty advantage for offside because the Lions can't do anything right. Out of Werner Koch, cuts inside. Sharks inside the Lions territory in Lions 22 now. Sharks player down. Jeremy Ward, Eddie Radebe. There's Fenter, bounce to Fred Zellinger. Tackles made by MJ Pulsar. Good continuity from the Sharks. They still have a penalty advantage. 16, Morne Brown offside, right in front of the poles. Ah, dear. What's going on here? What are we waiting for here? The clock is ticking. We're standing here. No, they're going post. I mean, cross. The officiating here is painful. It's painful to watch. More painful than watching the bloody performance. So Matt Moore is off, which means the Tyler Box is on. Trying to see who else is on here. So Nahamba's taken over the kicking duties. And then you've got Emil van Heerden on for the Sharks. You've got OJ Noah. Don't think Kerwin Kurtz has come on for the Sharks just yet. So then Nahamba, pretty much running in front, has added the extra 3. And all of a sudden this becomes a very long way back for the Lions. Sheriff Stephen to contribute to tries now. Well, more than that now. Scarlets at home to Connacht later. Cardiff Blues Zebra postponed last. Yeah, apparently you guys are enjoying your little storm over there. Etibet coming home to the Sharks. Not coming home, but he's put a strange touch, hasn't he? I mean, this is the problem. You know, how can you want nice things when Fred Zellinger kicks the ball and touch off the kickoff? I mean, he says change always causes chaos. Does it take 20 years? But much respect from Wales. Things are slowly working out better, but there are still problems. I know world respect is everywhere. Right, now we're going to see a front row replacement. So Denisio's off. Lugisa Ngube is on. He's a big man, is Ngube. Adds a bit of extra weight, and looks like Vian Hirsch on for Kuta Kuno, as well as Manila Empton Johnny on for JP Smith. And I think Jurgen Felice is on as well, from the looks of it. Is he? Big scrum there from the Sharks. Huge scrum there from the Sharks. Penalty advantage and penalty. Ref, just call the game. Like, do I really have to watch this last 65? Yeah, I'm about to say, Jurgen Felice is not on. The commentators are having a mare. I didn't think it looked like. So, Benene M. John is on, and he's just been absolutely wrecked by Vian Herbst. But Nathan Klabakanya is still on. You can say where the road ends, da-dee-da-dee-da, da-dee-da-da-da-da-da. Good news is I'm having a bra after this. So, you know, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Because, you know, to watch all this and then to not have something I get to look forward to is... Big rolling more in the back there from the Sharks. Still going. Feel free to stop them, chaps. Eventually starts to come to a stop. But they're going again. They're still going. They're over. I mean, feel free to... No, it's not Dion Blair. It's Dan Euster. You know... You gotta wonder about some of these commentators. No, they haven't realized that it's getting to smarts. They got try scorers wrong here. Commentators in the mud. The Lions are in the mud. I mean, they've taken a rolling more here from the 22. By the way, that's such a well said more. And they break off and over in the corner. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And it's a great kick from the Humber as well, up against touchline. So 43 points to 19. This is starting to look a little bit ugly for the Lions. Architects their own downfall. Every single time they score points, they concede points quickly after that. So they just never managed to get back into the game. They were ahead early and conceded very quickly. At the moment, are now just being outclassed. Deep restart there. Timberland Bully getting a run on. These save 22. Eventually brought down. Restart there while taken from Vaughan Isaac. That's a high tackle from Hertzer. So that'll be a penalty. That's the yellow card as well, actually. Well, I think that could be his first involvement, and he's been binned as Currie Hertzer. That's a horrible way to come on started. I think that's literally his first contribution. Currie Coates says, come on, the first thing he's done is high tackles Morgan Isaacs and gotten a yellow card. What are you on about Bradley Davids? These commentators have been terrible today. They just don't know who anybody is. Right, that's a messy line from the Lions. But the ball has come down just outside the 22. There we go. Jurgen Felix is now on. Nico Steyn, the ball goes straight through, and Fred Zelling is under a lot of pressure here from Ini Radebe. So the Lions losing quite a few meters there. Vince Tuka picking up and going himself under a lot of pressure. And the Lions all the way back past the 10-meter line. But the penalty as well, though, I mean, at this stage might just... I'll tell you quickly, as Nico Steyn gone to Morgan Isaacs. Big hits from him from OJ Noah. And they've turned the ball over, but illegally so. SAU missed out on Jamie Roberts. He's immigrated to Oz, playing with the Warriors, will be a doctor there when he retires in the next couple of years. Well, I don't think he's ever coming here, to be fair. The Lions playing next week. There's no Currie Cup next week. It's we're playing against Leinster on Friday. It's going to be a horrible game. But, yes. Province had Jamie for a couple of seasons. Yeah, but he's never going to settle down yet. There's always a bit of a journeyman there. We had a nice midfield offense attack at the time. That's a nice line-out win there from Lunga and Gube. That's better. Keep going, keep going. Morne Brandon, stay patient. Stay patient, stay patient. Over the try, and we move, we move, we move. That's a better maul. That's a bit better, isn't it? Morne Brandon, the man who goes over. And once again, we've done quite well. It's a good line-out, actually. Nicely taken by Lungisa and Gube. And then they just break off to the left, and Morne Brandon goes down. Very nicely done, yeah, lads. Too late, unfortunately. We've got 10 minutes, but I mean, if you can score another try, if you can convert this to 26, you score another try, 33 points to 43 is horrible, but at least there are some positives to look at. Not many, but yeah, it's better than nothing, isn't it? Kevin Thomas, Leicester versus Lions next week. Yeah, don't even start. Leicester will give Lions a good welcome to Dublin next week. Just be nice to us. Like, we don't deserve what we're getting at the moment. Morgan Isaacs, straight through the middle. 26 points to 43. A long way back. Not too much, not enough time, don't think to ever get it. But I mean, I suppose, if you could score another 2 tries, you can get a bonus point for losing within 7. Maybe that's the only thing that could be on the table for the Lions if they were to try and mount a bit of a comeback. However, at 17 points deficit, 3 tries seems unlikely. Restart from Iniradebe, going long, and just stays inside. Nicely taken by Kieran Horn. Very, very well taken there. Very good sevens player, Kieran Horn, I reckon. Oh, that's ripped in the tackle and fallen straight in the hands of Ngube. And he's lost it there. Nico Steyn going to Fred Zellinger, looking to run out of the 22, puts in the dab in behind. James Melendez after it, and he's kicked it up. Goes to his so. Oh, it's a horrible pass to Nico Steyn. And it's a knock-on advantage there as well. First knock-on from the Lions. I mean, what a nice little break there, and then a horrible pass to Nico Steyn. I don't think it's a knock-on, by the way. I think it comes off his hip. Nice tackle by Nico Steyn, to be fair to him. Well, it wasn't his fault that he dropped it. It was a horrible pass. Personally, I think that first knock-on came off the hip there. But hey, whatever. Scrum on the halfway line. In the news on Faf de Klerk, he's staying at Sale. He's moving to Japan. I have no idea. He needs to come back to Johannesburg. That's what he needs to do. Can you guys employ a neutral ref? I just think good work on defense and it will help them. Fat come to Sharks. And come on, I mean, of all the people, all the positions you need, the scrum off is not one. You've got Grant Williams, you've got Sinena Humber, you've got Jaden Hendrickson, you've got Cameron Wright. Come now. There's one position you guys don't need a scrum halves. The only good news is the Lions have got a bonus point for scoring 4 tries. So I suppose that's the only positives, that they managed to score 4 tries. But it's the age-old story for the Lions, isn't it? Scoring tries is often not the issue. It's just conceding so many all the time. That is a common issue. Penalty for the Lions at the scrum time. Come on! Come on! No, Fred Zettinger's going to kick this nice and deep into the 22. We're going to maul this over. We're going to restart. We're going to score a try from the restart. And then we're going to get another restart. We're scoring another restart again, and we're going to win the game. I mean, that's a great kick from Fred Zettinger. So he's given us a chance there. Let's get within 7, chaps. If we can leave this game with 2 points, it'll be frustrating because I think we deserve more from... Well, I don't say we deserve more. We've played pretty horrendously. But I think with the lineups that we had, I think we should have put in a better display. Discipline's an issue for the Lions, a huge issue, but it has been a lot better this half. I think they've only conceded 4 penalties. That's a horrible looking line out, and it's been snapped upon. I mean, really. Typical, isn't it? You get into the 22s, nice kick from Fred Zettinger, and it's a horrible line that was going to always drop down, and the Sharks were on it like a flash, and now the Humber will box kick them out of trouble. I don't think you'll find too much distance. Just for the 10-meter line. I mean, that's so poor. That's a horrible looking line as well, but I think Lunga Klube has managed to put his hands up and win it back, yeah. So Tyler Box's first carry of the day. Nico Steyn going to Fred Zettinger. Fred Zettinger going to James Molensic. Morgan Isaacs juggling it, managing to regather though. Werner Koch never released that ref, so that should be a penalty, but it won't be. He never ever released the tackle after that tackle. AJ, can you just wake up here? Turnover ball here from the Sharks. Counter coming in from the Lions, but it's secure. Nahamba going back to Iniradebe, who, by the way, is Joe Big Boy. So why don't we just sign him up, for goodness sake? Isaacs now, what is he going to do with a bit of space? Runs straight into... That's a horrible high tackle as well. We're going to see another yellow card. Yeah, OJ Noah's gone to the bin. I mean, you got to feel for Vaughan Isaacs. He's had... The last 2 times he's carried up, he's been hit high twice. And it's resulted in 2 yellow cards, so we'll take it. But cheapers, he's been in the wars at the moment. Steve, where do you think the SC teams will finish in the URC, given we don't have any team in the top 5? If the Stormers win their games in hand, I think they can go into top 5. I think I'd like to see 2 SC teams in the top 8. Hopefully one in the top 5. I don't see the Lions getting the top 10, and the Bulls are running out of time to get into the top 10. So I don't know, actually. Ideally, you want to get 3 teams in the top 10. Lions hopefully sitting at around, I don't know, 11, 12. You know, just try and not finish at the bottom. And then we need a big recruitment in the off-season. Now, what's irritating me now? So if Rassi and Jock are busy operating the likes of coming back and Diago, when do the Lions get some players? You know, when do we get, like, why is Joseph Dwayne not coming to the Lions? Nico Steyn, Fred Zettinger, to Molense. It's a nice line run by him. He's grown into the game. He has Molense. Steyn to Chatuka, steps inside. Driven back, but he still, eventually manages to go down to the ground. Then goes to Peter Steenkamp, puts his head down. Big hit on him. Nico Steyn, they go down the blind side. Yeah, Fred Zettinger goes to James Molense. Steps inside. Hands off Werner Koch. Boom! And over! That said he's been going into the game. Look what it means to him. Look what it means to him. I haven't updated the scorecard. Oh, my living. The commentators are having a mirror. I almost feel like it's his first touch. He's literally had about 4 in the last... He literally created, like, 3 breaks so far. Malense has been really good today, in the second half especially. And that's just raw power, isn't it? So much to out to the 22. He goes, bang, hands off Vernicock, down you go. Bang, off Penclair. Rolls over and puts it down. That's a nice beat. That's a good moment for Malense, who's obviously come back from an ACL. The most difficult injury to come back from. Fred Zelinger doesn't manage to get the conversion, but that's a nice little... that's the one thing I said, if we're not going to win games, and we're not going to win a lot of games, I want to see individual performances. I want to see moments like this. Sit down, Werner Clark. Bang over Jaap Penclair. He's a unit as Malense. Operates a fly. We've got a big boost on him as well. And interested to see if he can play inside centre, because that is a position that the Lions don't have a lot of depth at. Outside centre, you've got Similon, you've got Henke van Wyk, and you've got Malense. Inside centre, you've got Burger Oendal and Matt Moore. Right, the restart. Come on, one more try and get a bonus point, you lads. Morgan Isaacs out the air. He's going to get another yellow card for us. Oh, it is another high tackle there. He's still going. He's going, Morgan. Get the offload. He gets it off to Ngube. Quick recycle from Nico Steyn. Going to the left. Tyler Box. Tyler Box decided to go himself. He's at the tackle. Gets the pass away to Inton John as well. Very nice continuity up to the halfway line here of the Lions. Tyler Box picks up and goes. That's better from the Lions. Where's this been all game? Kewan Horn. That's a nice little leg drive from the fullback now on the wing. Fred Zelinger going to MJ Pulser. Run the hands here. Run the hands. Devon Rousseau getting a bit of pace. Brought down by Sneddenheimer into the Sharks' territory. This is really good from the Lions. This is what we've been waiting to see the entire bloody game. Kewan Horn's busy cramping up. We need you, lad. PJ Steenkamp brought down. Temelani Bolly is just... Staying, going to the left, going to MJ Pulser. Straight out to James Malense, the try scorer. Nice tackle there by Eni Radebe. Available for once again, staying this time going to Sangweni. Running the hands here. Tyler Box. Really nice line there run by Vaughan Isaacs. Suddenly come alive a bit at fullback. That's got to be a penalty for not rolling away unless the ball's available. See, eight phases. We haven't seen this the entire game. Oh, the ball's gone loose. Never mind. I mean, really, fucking Fred Zelinger. Turnover ball here. And Murray Costa has just put this on the ground. And that's going to stay in tight, actually. I mean, that is so unfortunate. That is so typical, isn't it? Oh, that's almost a try. No. Oh, well, he's held up. He's been held up, so it won't be a try. That was almost so typical. The best play from the Lions. Turnover ball. The cover in behind for Masport Kita somehow stays in. Like, it doesn't get any closer. And Currie and Kurtzer almost had an easiest run in, but Jinshin Tuka is like, no, you are not getting there, mate. Brings down the ankle tap. Devon Rousseau then jumps on him. And he can't get the ball. Vincent Tuka, take a bow. And then Sangweni is there saying, this is my ball, wins the penalty. We'll have an opportunity to kick towards. I mean, try now, we get back within 7, hey, and we can get a bonus point. So that'll be, I mean, look, it's not likely, but why do we wait until the last 10 minutes to come alive? Very nice take off the air as well. Staying, kicks and chase. Not sure that's the right option. MJ Pulser there, however. He's very good on the ground. And James Fenter will kick that out. So, final score will be 43 points to 31. Sharks, the bonus point victory. The Lions suddenly woke up in the final 10 minutes. But just not the same class, unfortunately. They don't have the players, they don't have the depth, and it's showing a lot. Sharks, well, they're looking good. They've got such a... And the problem is with the Sharks, well, not even a problem, the good thing for the Sharks is that their depth is incredible. So this Currie Cup side is looking very, very promising because they've got so much depth for it. So with that win, they'll probably go up to the top of the log. They'll go ahead of the Cheetahs. The Lions will stay in the bottom of the log. They'll move on to 2 points. And frustrating as a Lions fan, but what can you do? Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go enjoy my braai. Hopefully you guys are all braaiing as well. We will be live tomorrow night for a bit of a chat. Haven't had one in a while. We're going to be live on Monday as well. How does Cameron Wright get champion of the match when you got a yellow card? I don't understand that. Anyway, you guys enjoy it. We'll see you guys all soon.